conference matchup in today's game as the Lakers come into town for this one. I'd like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan joining me, Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and courtside Doris Burke. A quick check now the starting five for both teams. And guys, taking a look at Carl Landry, what do we see from him?
Well, Landry has just a big motor. He can play so hard as soon as he gets into the game and make a major impact on the game. He's relentless in his pursuit of offensive rebounds, and he's always going to fight you for the ball.
Yeah, you know, those offensive rebounds are always huge. You also need to be able to finish through contact if you're undersized, and Landry can do that too. He can get a guy up in the lean into him and finish the play while earning a trip to the free throw line. After this game, the Kings head back out on the road. They've hit a rough spot here early, but still have plenty of time in their season to find their way out.
Well, this wasn't a team that was talked about much coming into the season, and they haven't done anything yet to get them into the discussion either. They just haven't been able to touch on anything that's worked for them quite yet.
And they've still got a lot of time to turn things around, but they better not wait too much longer. The season can spiral downward on a team pretty quickly, and there could be a danger of that happening with them.
You know, there are very few players in the NBA who can dominate just with their athleticism, but that's what Dwight Howard does. He's not a really skilled guy in terms of passing and shooting, but when he's healthy, there's no one in the NBA who can match him physically in what he does on the defensive end of the floor.
On the free throw, no good. And Steve, you talked about Howard. I think you can make a case pretty easily that he's the most athletic center in league history. Not just now, but overall in the NBA. When you talk about Clark, you know, his combination. And it's perfect.
The list is short when you talk about guys of his size with his athleticism, so he clearly is in the conversation. You talk about a 38 to 39 inch vertical and the way he's put together and built. I can't think of another center his size who jumps like that.
He's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Now let's find out what head coach Mike D'Antoni had to say to our Doris Burke. Doris?
He told me he's wary about how they'll contend with DeMarcus Cousins inside. He said he's a beast in there, no doubt about it. Size, length, strength, and a ton of skill. The talent is really off the charts with him. And guys, he knows it won't be easy to muscle Cousins away from the rim, but he said that's what they've got to find a way to do. It won't be easy.
Thanks, Doris.
And, you know, for the Lakers last year, there's a lot of turmoil. Think about the coaching change, but it wasn't just that. It was a whole system change as well. And the front office felt the Princeton offense they started using wasn't working out. So they were in a state of flux all season long.
Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
About a minute and a half through the first quarter. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
The pass to Selman. A rebound by the Lakers. And going back to the Princeton offense that Clark mentioned, Steve, tell us about that offense. How do you think it didn't work out?
Well, they only gave it 5 games, Kevin. I mean, Mike Brown was 1-4 when he got fired. And that's impossible to install an offense and expect it to work that quickly. So, I mean, I think the offense would have been fine if they had given it time and given Mike Brown some time to install it.
And again, unable to change momentum here. Well, it was the Los Angeles Lakers winning their last game against the Trailblazers.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be much of a challenge for them in that game. It seemed like they scored and, well, not much defense that they were facing.
Yep, they had the defense on its heels early the entire game, and actually nearly the entire game. And no matter what unit was out there, looked like a mismatch to me.
Boy, he's looked great so far. Right from the opening tip, offensively, looks like he's brought his A game.
That's out of bounds. The Lakers able to retain possession here. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Look at the Lakers. They like where they stand right now, perched in that topmost position. And, of course, there's the Kings, just way behind.
You know, right now for the Lakers, they've actually taken the NBA by storm since the season kicked off. They put themselves right in the mix with the league's top teams when most people thought they'd be bottom feeders.
I know it's early, Clark, but the way they've looked, I think they'll be in that mix all the way to the end.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
Guys, they're really passing the ball well here in the first half.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint.
And the Kings making a change here. Madison's checked in.
Well, we knew the Pacific was tough last year as a division. They sent 3 teams to the playoffs, and it's one reason why the Kings ended up just above the Suns in the division. Hard to make a lot of headway when you're the 4th best team in your state.
The bounds, the Lakers will take possession. Thomas against Moore. Taylor attacking. Takes that one from the post. Taylor's got his second basket of the night. Well, as you said, tough California teams, Clark, populating the Pacific, but the Kings actually did well against them. Better than, in fact, you would expect, considering how far apart their win totals were.
Not bad well, but all in all, I think the California teams are looking stronger going forward, particularly Golden State and the Clippers. So it's going to be tough in that division.
First quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Oh, that's blocked.
He's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Kick out to Moore. Dish out to Taylor. Back to Moore. Launches it. And the shot is good. Moore's got 5 now.
Offensively, he's just one of those guys that needs a touch of space to get his shot up. That's all. And if he runs his man off the screen or somehow finds an opening, that's it. He's going to let that thing go.
Something else with him, you can't forget about his skill as a pull-up shooter. I mean, you give him too much room, and he won't hesitate for a second to raise up and spray you with that J.
Well, for the Lakers last season, it seemed there's so much turmoil throughout the year. Injuries, coaching-wise, changes in the offense. And they never were able to really gain any momentum. They made a decent run at the end of the season, but that didn't carry over into the postseason when they were swept by the Lakers in the first round.
I think going back to D'Antoni and the Lakers, that Howard and Gasol were made.
Oh, my goodness.
What a huge play. They keep going down low with the ball, and it results in points. They're having their way in the paint.
And it's resulted in a big early lead, too.
For the Sacramento Kings, the last game a loss to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, you want to talk about a team that just couldn't get into a rhythm offensively. That was a really ugly game for us.
Yeah, you know what? I wonder about the game plan, but really, it was more about a lack of execution than anything else.
The Kings shooting their first free throws of this.
John Salmon at the line for 2.
And the first one goes.
Sacramento really had a lot of problems finding consistency game to game, and it showed up when they would have to take on other teams in the West. Just didn't look quite as cohesive and as desperate to win as the rest of the conference, and that ends up costing you games.
Salmon hits them both. Well, Clark, as you said, the Kings struggled against the West, really against Western teams not in their division. They would play the division tough, but didn't do much against the other 2 Western divisions.
Well, they only won 14 games against the rest of the conference, which was the fewest of any team in the West last year. But of those 14 wins, 7 came against the Pacific. So that's kind of interesting when you look at the disparity between their wins.
And Gasol with the dunk.
They've built a big lead here early, both defensively and offensively. They've been terrific right from the tip.
Marcus Thornton on the wing. Moore with the steal. Kicks to Kobe. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Well, it's without question Kobe Bryant is always going to be known as one of the great scorers in the history of the game. But for the kids watching at home, it is really worth reminding you of this. He can do it all. He's fundamentally sound in all aspects of the game. He defends, he rebounds, he passes. To be one of the true greats, You can't just focus on one thing. You need to be able to do a little bit of everything and do it all well.
Now, here's Thomas. Real disappointing game for him in that loss to Oklahoma City. Out of bounds, Kings ball, Sacramento keeps possession. DeMarcus Cousins, number 1. And, of course, Pau Gasol. Thornton, a screen on Gasol. Thomas with the ball, picked up by Kobe. That's tipped. Moore with the steal. Throws up. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
It has taken them no time to build this lead up on the strength of a great first quarter offensively.
And they need to continue to put pressure on the defense and try to really run away with this one from here.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. After Kobe Bryant last season, right at the top among shooting guards and rebounds and assists.
And despite his workload offensively, he's a very good defender too, especially on the ball. He's been all defense 9 times on that first team. 12 all-defense selected.
How about that basketball, man?
Beautiful.
Wow.
Assist from
Just floating to the rim on that slam.
Boy, when he gets up and stays up.
Boy, smooth and graceful. How about the hang time? That's impressive.
The finish, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
So deflating for a team. Clark coughing up the ball at one end, and then it turns into immediate points at the other end.
And it's just as much of a boost for the team getting those easy points off the steal.
Outside Thomas. Here's Cousins. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. And it's 6 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, this quarter has gone awfully well for him. It seems like every chance he's gotten, he's pretty much converted.
Kobe kicks to Howard. Pass to Gasol. And again, it's the Lakers.
These defenders are not putting up much of a fight on the interior. It's been embarrassing. That's 10 consecutive points allowed in the lane.
And that's not the kind of streak you want to have if you're playing defense.
This is good.
That finish brings me back to the old days, the silky smooth finger roll.
And it's Moore penetrating, and he jams it with authority. His finishes can be dazzling, especially Clark at his side.
Well, you look at a guy who doesn't have the height of some other big-time dunkers, and it always looks better, and he certainly makes up for lack of height with that athleticism.
Yeah, his leaping ability is just off the charts, guys.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
Taylor's shot, good.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Yeah, the shots have been falling, that's for sure. The offense really in a good groove.
And that's a foul called on the Beast. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second personal foul, second team foul.
Salmons against Taylor. Outside Thomas. They get a hand on it.
You know, with that one, he's getting up there in turnovers. I mean, 4 in all now. He's got to be better with the ball to get his team back into it.
Here's Taylor, and he pops it in from the low post. Taylor's got 11 points.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
The drive by Cousins to end the run, and it's good on the layup. And that's it for the first quarter in what's been a very lopsided game. Lakers on top, delivering the blowout. Live from Sacramento, you're watching 2K Sports. Ready as we start the second quarter. And Stephen Clark, Lakers are pretty much in control here.
And they're really keying in on getting as many good shots inside the lane as possible. So they're doing a nice job of not just settling for outside looks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, they're working it inside and doing it with intention and purpose.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the floor for Sacramento, Landry and Cousins patrol the paint. Vasquez out there with Isaiah Thomas, and it's Salmons in at the small forward position. outside. Taylor lets it go from deep. That's good. Taylor's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for Los Angeles. And for Sacramento, they're shooting just 33%, struggling to get good looks.
You know, even though he's getting up there in years, guys, Pau's effectiveness shouldn't really drop off much. He's a long, skilled player who doesn't play off the ground very much, and his versatility should help his longevity.
A large part of what they've been able to do here is centered around his offense.
Now here's Vasquez. He's covered closely. Shoots the three. And the rebound goes to Howard. Howard's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Clark, you mentioned the versatility of Pau Gasol. It's really the defining quality of his game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the ability to do so many things offensively as a big guy just really completes the team. Now you can run any kind of offense you want. Pau, as a passer, as a scorer, as a shooter, has been one of the best in the game for the last decade.
Moore with the block. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Howard. Jody Meeks comes in for Taylor. Brown is checked in for Kobe. And it's Nash in for Moore. In low to Cousins. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. They get Pau Gasol.
You know, with the troubles he's had butting heads with coaches and others, you might wonder why the team keeps putting up with Cousins' antics. Well, I'll tell you why. The greater your talent, the longer your rope. Because this kid does have talent.
And Clark, you mentioned Cousins' problems. There were some rumblings last season that the Kings might look to trade him, Steve, and I think there would be some teams that would say, you know what, this is a quality guy that maybe needs a new environment.
I think teams would be very interested in him. The question is, how much would they be willing to give up? Because it is a bit of a risk, not knowing exactly what you're getting. But Cousins, an intriguing talent. There's no doubt about that. They've been so efficient in the paint in this game. That's an area they've totally dominated.
You know, once they ID'd the edge they had inside, they just continued to attack it.
Pass to Landry. Second chance effort. And that one's good. Landry's got his first basket of the night.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
The kick out to Brown. Pass to Meeks. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Another shot. Hill. He feeds it to Nash. Brown outside. Good, and the assist goes to Nash.
Well, Kevin, probably his greatest value lies in his tremendous three-point shooting. When he's out on the perimeter, it gives them the ability to really stretch the defense out.
And another thing about his game that's really noticeable is how well he handles defensive pressure when he's getting his shot off. He's a very composed shooter.
Obvious foul.
Yeah, he took a hit right there and earned those free throws.
First free throw is good. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
There's no question the big news for the Sacramento Kings is they're still the Sacramento Kings. After a nail-biting the last couple of years, they saw the Kings flirt with moving to Virginia, Anaheim, Las Vegas, Seattle. Finally, a new ownership group committed to keeping the team in Sac. Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Thomas dishes to Vasquez. And there's the foul. It's on the franchise. That's his first foul.
Third team foul.
Thomas kicks to Vasquez. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. And for all the Kings fans, what a great victory. Former three-time NBA All-Star and Sacramento native son, Mayor Kevin Johnson, instrumental in securing financing for the new arena, and Steve campaigning with the league's owners to keep the team in Northern California.
I think it surprised everyone, Kevin. Seattle made such a strong bid. I think most people felt the team would end up in Seattle, but Johnson did his job. Sacramento stepped up to the plate. I think it's great that the Kings get to keep their team, and hopefully Seattle will end up with one in the next couple of years. I'd say that shot was well within his range.
You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there.
Feeds to Cousins. Looking to end the run. Rebounded by the Lakers. Gasol's got 5 rebounds tonight.
Yeah, that was very sloppy in that first matchup. It was a poorly played game, and it turned into a blowout because they continued to turn the ball over and they didn't execute offensively.
Sacramento's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. And Joey Meeks hits the whistle. That's not good. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Boy, with 2 fouls now, he really has to be disciplined and under control for the rest of this half.
Now here's Vasquez. He's covered by Brown. Vasquez with it. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Vasquez has got his first bucket in this one. And it's hard to forget what Steve mentioned. The turnovers really piled up last time.
Yep, you know, Steve's always on top of it, as are you. You can bet their coach was on top of it as well and didn't let them forget about that. It was an embarrassing statistic and an embarrassing loss.
Back to Nash. On deep. That doesn't go either for Nash. The Kings shooting a low 30% mark from the field. Vasquez with it. Now guarded by Meeks. Here's Selman. And the bucket counts. He's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
Guys, DeMarcus Cousins, the 5th pick out of Kentucky back in 2010. Nobody questions this guy's talent. He has tremendous skill. Players with his size and skill don't come along very often.
A nice shot by Nash. The Kings shooting is definitely lagging at the moment. They're just 30% in the second quarter. It's stolen by Brown. And now it's Brown. That's not as easy as it made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary for him.
Oh, you know it. The guy can climb the ladder, can't he?
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
And there's the foul. It's on the franchise. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. For Sacramento, they have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one.
Well, solid numbers for this club from the free throw line this season, shooting about 77% collectively.
Really, guys, it's just come together for them at the charity stripe this season. I mean, the confidence is there, and so too are the results.
Nick Young's checked in for Sacramento. Hill, he's covered by Landry. And the basket by Hill. Hill's got his second basket of the game. There's a minute 34 left to play here in the second quarter. Dishes to Selmans. The feed to Cousins. And that's collected by Hill. Hill's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today. There's a glaring discrepancy between these teams in that area of the game.
Yeah, that's what's paved the way for them to build this big lead, no question.
Young, good look. A shot good. Vasquez making the play. Los Angeles has gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%. 7 of 13 on 3. And he'll backs him in. A jump hook. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Hill's got 6 in the quarter.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
Nash outside, and it's good. Nash has got 5.
He didn't get off to much of a start early on, but he seems to have shaken off the rust here in the quarter.
It's Selman's on the wing. That's good. Here's Nash. He's got 5. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. And again, it's the Lakers.
He's found a rhythm here in this second quarter, guys. He looks good.
Sacramento's got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4. Cousins with a screen for Young. He dishes it to Landry. Back to Young. Off with the layup.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
And so a pretty lopsided game for the first half. Lakers ahead, opening up a huge gap. We've got more in store for you right after this.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And now let's dive right into the halftime report on 2K Sports. The Los Angeles Lakers in front against the Kings
And for more of the same as we get the third quarter started. What can you say? The Beast, an impressive effort here today.
Yeah, he put on a highlight reel in that first half alone. Just a collection of spectacular dunks.
It was a fireworks display. He nearly tore the hoop down with a couple of those slams multiple times. You know, last season, an NBA owner. That was wicked! He threw down that 360 like it was no problem at all. That's insane skill.
The guys on the bench are just falling all over themselves.
Yeah, they love one of the plays of the year, possibly. Well, the number one priority for a defense when you face this guy is to keep him getting anywhere from the basket because he's just so strong as a finisher.
And, you know, the thing he might do better than anything else, guys, is bang the offensive glass. I mean, he really works hard at that.
Selmans passes to Thomas. He kicks to Cousins. Back to Thomas. Launches a three. Tipped wide.
Boy, look at the rebound total. He is absolutely dominating out there.
Boy, that's been something to watch. My goodness.
Nash dishes to Brown. They'll get another chance. Hill kicks to Gasol. He passes to Meeks. And the three off target. The Kings shooting just 35%. They've got to get better looks. Thomas, that's good.
That is a terrific effort on the shot. He's giving up a lot of size, but still finds a way to score.
I don't think that affected him in the least, though, Steve. I mean, he made it look like he was the bigger guy.
Kings have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half.
After having a strangely off year from behind the arc in the 2011-12 season, John Salmons got back to his usual sharp shooting ways last year, guys. He shot over 37% from long range.
And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
LA's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Brown outside. Landry grabs the miss. Well, and for Salmons, a starter last season in Sacramento, played almost as much as Tyreke Evans.
That might be a stretch for Salmons at this point in his career. He's a decent passer and defender, but he shot under 40% from the field. You know, he's gotten older. He's been a very solid player throughout his career, but I think the older legs are starting to catch up.
And even 3-on-3 break. Puts one up, and Gasol sends it back. Now here comes Nash, leading the break. Brown. There it is. It's Nash picking up the assist. Nash has got his 7th assist in the game.
Well, they're winning the speed game, guys, getting out in transition.
Boy, I like the energy they play with offensively and in the open court. Tremendous flow.
And it's the Lakers on the break. Nash with the ball. There's Brown with the three. Gets it to go. Brown's got 14 points.
He had one in the first as well. He can be dangerous. Keep an eye on him.
Horton passes to Cousins. Again, the miss by the Kings.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag it.
Nash dishes to Gasol. That's good. 15 points in the game.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
Agreed. I mean, you look at the points, I mean, they're getting a lot of baskets off of assists, so the offense really clicking here.
Offensive rebound. Salmons kicks to Thornton. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Thornton's got his second bucket of the night.
I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
And that's out of bounds. The Lakers will retain possession. And now a quick look at some very potent men in the middle lately. Highest scoring big men in the past 10 games. You look at the monster, leading the league in points per game. Such a great player.
You know, he's such a polished offensive player in the low post. Even when the defense collapses on him, he's got guys all around him. He finds a way to put the ball in the basket.
You said a mouthful right there, Steve. Even with multiple defenders on him, he can make tough shots. He's an effective scorer that way. He operates as well in traffic as you can expect from a big man.
And Ba'amute with it. Now defended by Taylor. Thomas outside. And another three for Sacramento.
Boy, they're doing a nice job, a really good job of getting second chances here. And that's a great way to cut into that lead. I mean, nothing is more demoralizing to a defense than putback.
Taylor passes to Howard. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Now, that was an incredible reverse throwdown right there. Tremendous body control.
I'd even go as far as say, Clark, that was a punctuation dunk. Huh?
I can feel that.
Send a message.
Yes, sir. A message and put it on the highlight reel for later.
That is his shot, guys. So you can't just give it to him. You've got to get up on him and get into his airspace there.
Kobe kicks to Moore. They get the rebound over Thomas. And again, it's the Lakers.
Man, a pleasure to watch him work at that end of the floor.
Kings have gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the third quarter.
You take a look at the offense for the Kings last season, there are some things to build on here, guys. Fourth in the NBA in fast break points, top 4 in points in the paint. Those are good numbers to build your offensive foundation around.
Here's Hayes. Landry dishes to Mba'amute. 6 to shoot. A finger roll finish at the bucket. But for the Kings, I think Coach Mike Malone will try to get them to play a little more unselfishly, Steve, especially at the offensive end.
Yeah, they had a team last year that just seemed to be jacking up shots anytime they could get one up individually. They were among the lowest in the league in assists as a team. A lot of isolation basketball. It was not pretty to watch.
The shot by Thomas. Again, Sacramento.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
And Howard with the stuff.
See the way he times his passes so well? That was a great assist.
Sacramento's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. That's good. Thornton's got 8 here in the quarter.
You know, if you were only looking at the way he played offensively, you'd think his team would be ahead.
And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket. And you look at Landry, and he does lack the size of most power forwards, but he's excellent at finishing around the goal, and it helps him keep defenders honest with a nice, reliable outside shot, too.
Knocked away. Hayes with it, and it's Howard picking him up. Here's Thornton. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And Carl Landry's such a great knack for scoring around the rim.
He's a tough guy, a genuine tough guy. He gets the ball in the paint, and he'll go up and score with little jump shots or maybe put-back shots. Great hands, and really keeps himself in good condition. Well, a coaching carousel for the Lakers last season. They made it only 5 games before firing Mike Brown. Then they decided to go in a new direction. And, boy, they went through 3 different head coaches before all was said and done. They never really were able to gain that consistency they were looking for.
And Kobe gets it to go.
So nice to have a guy like that who can take charge at any time.
Yeah, so many of his passes, Steve, have led directly to basket.
And it's sent back by Howard. Taylor inside. He's guarded by Thomas. The shot by Howard. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. And back to the Lakers' struggles last season. What do you think, Clark, were the main problems that, held them back from being the kind of title contender that they thought they were and a lot of people imagined they were?
Well, how much time do I have? 3 or 4 shot clocks worth? I mean, I think there were a number of issues, as you might expect. Injuries played a significant role, but I think there was discord over how they should play. Really, how the Lakers season went.
That's a good assessment. This is what Sacramento's going with right now. Cousins comes in for Chuck Hayes. And it's Selman's in for Mba'amute. Moore against Thomas. The shot. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
Well, he rarely misses from the line. He's at 87% on the year. So as a team, you love to have him on the strike.
And you know, with those numbers, he makes the defender hesitant to get too tight on him. I mean, he doesn't want to get whistled for the foul and put this guy on the line.
And that's good as he hits both of the shots. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead, and this one may already have been decided. Los Angeles on top, just dominating this one. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. Next Tuesday night, December 10th, LeBron James and the Miami Heat go up against Paul George and the Indiana Pacers. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup. We'll see how much things change up here. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
How about the three-point shooting we're seeing so far, guys? Amazing.
Another thing they've done tonight well is share the ball. So many of their points have come off of good crisp passes.
Johnson is out there with 8. That's Norton. Then there's Travis Outlaw. And it's Selmans in a shooting guard. That's the 5 out there for the Kings. And here's Outlaw from the arc.
He's their top rebounder. He's doing an excellent job on the glass today.
Well, I tell you what, I love the effort he's shown on the board today, Steve. It's been fantastic. Really an extraordinary game for the Monster. He's got 16 points, and he's drained 3 3-point bombs so far.
Tell you what, he should not hesitate to keep firing from out there because he's got the touch tonight.
The first one falls. Chris Kamen's checked in for Pau Gasol. He's perfect from the line this time. King shooting a mediocre 41% in this one. Gordon with it. Guarded now by Nash. There's the pass to Outlaw. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. Here's a look at the schedule for the Los Angeles Lakers. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand.
Tell you what, there'll be a lot of focus on that Oklahoma City contest.
That's good from Outlaw.
Well, a perfect half at the free throw line for them. That'll help their comeback effort for real.
Yeah, that's keeping them close. It's going to take a full effort here in the second half, but they've got to continue to knock down these free throws.
Nick Young's checked in for John Selmans. He's off on the second. Lakers shooting has been sensational. 75% for the game. Howard, the pass to Nash. Back to Howard. Working on Hayes. Off the screen. Excellent D there from Chuck Hayes.
He's got a nice touch on that shot normally, but good defense there clogging the lane.
Nick Young on the wing. And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession. Chance to check out the Sacramento Kings' upcoming schedule. It's off to Utah for Matt Tedesco as they take on the Jazz. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip.
It's a good matchup. And that Dallas Mavericks game, definitely one to be checking out.
Here comes Nash. Heeman kicks to Taylor. Good on the three-point shot. Taylor's got 21 in the game.
And the threes continue to go down at that end with almost nothing happening from deep at the other.
But the way to turn that around is defensively, by stopping their outside shot, not by getting into a shootout.
Hayes gets to the rim for two with the D all over him.
How about that? Going up strong. I mean, he doesn't care how much height he's giving up. It's attitude with him.
Nash dishes to Howard. Kobe backing down is Howard. Right through the knee for the layup.
Man, how about the dexterity for this big guy? I mean, he is really smooth around the basket.
The Kings have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. And Kobe Brant gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Here's Young. Ejected by Taylor. Out of bounds. Sacramento takes possession.
Boy, that's embarrassing, guys. You're going to have a hard time living that one down later when they watch it on tape.
The Kings shooting 41% for the game. Thornton against Nash. All sorts of time. Can't hit. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. We're playing host to Toronto for the next one. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home.
Yeah, you know that Toronto game has a lot of attention on it.
Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession. So it's Sacramento. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Young for 3. Again, Young missing.
Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
Heyman passes to Nash. Lakers passing it around. It's tipped and stolen by Thornton. A floater. Rebound the Lakers. Howard's got 11 rebounds in the game. Nash kicks to Kobe. Back to Nash. That's in, coming off an assist by Kobe. Kobe's got 5 assists tonight.
And he's made the most of his chances, hasn't he? He really needs to continue to work for those good looks.
And Young, here we go. For 3, outlaw. Steve Nash with the rebound. The Lakers on offense. They're on a 13-3 run. Kobe with the bucket.
Yes, I think he shot the ball well, guys, but I don't think he shot it enough. The more shots he gets from here on out, the more they'll stretch out this lead.
Knocked loose. Kobe with the steal. Moving it up. And it's Dwight Howard with the finish.
This has been a one-sided game in just about every area. The lead continues to grow.
Absolutely. Their offense and their defense equal parts outstanding.
No problem knocking that one down.
Defense better start paying attention and taking care of business because he's been great from the arc this half.
Nash kicks to Kobe. That doesn't go in either for Kobe.
You know, even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
Yeah, not enough defensive coverage there to prevent him from firing that time, but I think if he's open, he's got to let that thing fly.
The dish to Howard. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And Dwight Howard plays some great basketball. 11 rebounds and 2 rejections.
You just can't find fault with anything he's done here. The effort, the energy, his production, his defense, it's all there.
All hustle, non-stop effort from him all over that 94 by 50-foot box.
And he can't get the first one.
Dwight Howard is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and, you know, when he's healthy, he can really anchor a defense inside with his rebounding and shot blocking. You know, real force in the paint.
And he sinks the second. And Clark, I know for Howard, you said when he's right. But the last few seasons, Steve, I think that's become an issue. Injuries have been a problem.
For sure, his production has waned. He had the disc issue in his back that numbed out one of his legs last year, had that back surgery. So, you know, you think about everything else, the torn labrum in his shoulder. He's taken a pounding over the years. Not a good foul shooter, so people really hit him hard and force him to the line. You wonder if maybe That has something to do with the injury.
Young against Kobe. Young outside. Thompson. Back to Young. 6 on the shot clock. He's again. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Shooting for Sacramento, Jason Thompson. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Thompson.
Now, I'm a fan of Jason Thompson. He's always going to give you whatever he has, whether it's 20 minutes or 30. He's got a very steady game and really gives you everything he has on the floor.
Sacramento making a switch here. And Bahamute's checked in. And Jason Thompson, a well-rounded player, can play the power forward. Even at 6'11" in the center.
I like him a lot, Kevin. He's got a good motor. He's got an excellent body. He works the backboards pretty well and made a nice improvement in his free throw shooting last year. Got that back up around 70%. He's the guy that helps you at both ends of the floor.
And Young kicks to Thompson. And it'll be Sacramento as it goes out of bounds. The teams retain possession. Travis Outlaws checked in for Sacramento. Now off the inbound. And it's Patterson finishing it off. And that's how you exploit a gap in the D, I guess.
Yes, sir. No small finish there. Major power.
And he knows an opportunity for the highlight reel when he sees one.
Times for it. Out of bounds. Sacramento takes possession. Sacramento's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. Rejected by Howard. And they're able to recover.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
World peace. Good.
Well, that's a wrap, fellas. No way you come back from this.
Not anymore. Any chance of that happening went out the window a while ago.
Tipped away. Tries to save it. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. 1:22 left in the fourth. John Patterson kicks to Vasquez. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Outlaw.
He's got to contribute. He's got to produce if his team's going to get back in it in this quarter.
Have the space there, but it's offline.
If I'm him, I'm looking to move the ball the rest of the quarter because he cannot fly a shot. Well, Kobe's never been shy about shooting. A lot of people would argue that he gets maybe a little too shot happy sometimes, but you want a guy who's dominant. You want a guy who's not afraid. He's going to fail and just come right back and fire away the next time.
And he knocks down the first one. When we talk about Kobe's role offensively for the Lakers, it's worth mentioning last season was one of his most efficient scoring the basketball.
It really was, and you consider the turmoil that surrounded the Lakers all season. It was remarkable that Kobe was as even-keeled as he was. Stayed focused, and start to finish, he delivered the type of all-star performance that he always does. Very impressive. You've got to like the fact that they're getting to the line, and on top of that, they're making their free throws in this half. That bodes well going forward.
And here's Outlaw from the arc.
Looks like he's lost his focus a little bit. Not playing well in this quarter.
Nash with it. Out-guarded by Outlaw. Nash dishes to World Peace. Good, and the assist goes to Nash.
They didn't take their time wrapping this game up. They pretty much did it in a hurry.
Yeah, they had a nice spurt to polish this one off.
Vasquez passes to Mbamute. Patterson. Takes it off the glass.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
Lakers shooting has been out of this world. 74% from the field. 3-second difference between shot clock and game time. Sacramento's got some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they hit just 1 of 6 from deep. Shots good from Young. 10 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Nash outside from beyond the arc and then some.
It's going to be a great game for them. No win on the road comes easy in the NBA. Nice performance. Any player loves sending his own fans home happy. He loves even more sending opposing fans home miserable.
So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
Now it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you.